Hey budget gardeners, Vita Loca here. It is fall and there are a lot of jobs to be done. I recently made a video showing you 10 things that I really need to tackle during the month of October. And one of them was taking apart all my window boxes, hanging baskets, and container pots. I have quite a few of them. These four right here are ones that just came down from my bedroom balcony. And while they still look very beautiful, it really is time for me to start tackling these jobs. I don't want to be doing it as soon as a frost hits because I will be overwhelmed. I would rather go around, look at all my pots, hanging baskets, containers, whatever I have, and basically start taking them apart, especially the ones that are looking a little bit tired and sad. So I figured I would take you along and show you my process for what I do with these window boxes. Do you remember in the spring when we put together all these window boxes? It was quite the chore. There was a lot involved. The first thing was just filling them all up with potting soil. And then after that, I went to my vegetable garden and collected a bunch of creeping Jenny that I had overwintered from there. We filled a bunch of these pots with Alyssum that I grew under my grow lights indoors during the winter months. And then with these window boxes in particular, there were a number of pansies that we put in them. And the pansies looked great in the springtime. However, as soon as the summer heat hit, they didn't look so good. So we cut back the pansies and we added a bunch of the celosia that I started from seed, also indoors under the grow lights. And what I learned about celosia is it looks really nice in the fall time. It's a really nice pop of color. So next year, I will be a lot better about deadheading all of my celosia so that I can continue keeping it through the end of summer into the fall months. However, at this time, the celosia looks sad, so I'm going to take you in for a closer look and we're going to take apart one of these window boxes together. I laid down a tarp here just to keep my space a little bit cleaner. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to remove all the blossoms off of the celosia plant. I made a video showing you how to collect the seeds from celosia, and I do have some seeds, but I want more. So I figured now is a good time for me to just take all the blossoms off and start collecting the rest of the seeds. So even though I'm taking the blossoms that still look really pretty off, you typically want to take the blossoms that have already gone by, kind of like this one here or this one here. Those are the ones that have the nice ripe seed pods inside of them. But I'm just going to take most of the blooms off. I'm not even going to bother cutting this one off here because I can tell there are not going to be any seeds in this one. You can save a lot of money by collecting the seeds of your own plants. I love this time of year. I am constantly on the hunt looking for seeds. And that's a big reason why I've been making a lot of videos showing you how to collect seeds from different plants. I just went ahead and put the seed pods in this colander. It has a bowl beneath it. Just going to shake out some of the seeds and check out all the seeds that we just collected just from the celosia plants in this one window box. That's pretty amazing. So now that we've collected the seeds off the celosia plants, I'm going to go ahead and pull the celosia plants out. The next thing is I have some pansies in here. They're pretty leggy. And even though this time of year I could take these pansies and plant them in my landscape, honestly, we are due to get a hard freeze within the next month. It's really not worth my while. So it's just better for me to go ahead and pull these out. The next thing that we're going to pull out is the alyssum. And in case you're wondering what alyssum seed looks like, you just take your alyssum that has already gone by like this, and just kind of shake it around. See those little brown specks? Well, those are the seeds of alyssum. Each seed will produce an alyssum plant. So what I've done is I've left a couple of plants in here that we're going to work on next. This is Creeping Jenny, and that's a perennial here in my Zone 5B climate. And this is Dichondra Silver Falls. This is not a perennial here. However, I was able to successfully overwinter this in my garage, so I plan on doing that again. So what we're going to do with the Creeping Jenny is just dig it all out. And all that's left in our window box is potting mix. And I don't plan on reusing this. I would rather put this in my compost pile and mix it in with other greens like my grass clippings and clippings from my garden waste. So let's go ahead and put this in the compost pile. On my Christmas list are new window boxes for my bedroom balcony. I like to recycle my pots, so I have friends that give me their pots, and there's also a local nursery that has an area where you can pick up pots and for free, which is really nice. It's just pots that other people have dropped off, and anyone that is welcome to take them. So I definitely check out that pile often. So this is called Dichondra Silver Falls. It is a perennial in some locations. And like I mentioned, it's an annual here. So what I did last year was overwinter this in my garage, and it did survive. So I'm going to do that again. It's a good way to save money. I could have used the potting mix that was in the window box to do this, but honestly, I'd rather use my own compost that I made. I feel like it has extra nutrients that will help this plant get through the winter. My garage does not go below 40 degrees during the winter months. So it's a great place for me to store the Dichondra Silver Falls. And I don't need this full length of this plant. I just need a small piece of it. So I'm going to go ahead and cut it. And I can cut it wherever. It really doesn't matter. My garage does have a couple of windows, but it's really not necessary. The plant is just dormant, and the key is to keep the soil slightly moist, not too wet, but also just to check on the plant about every month or so. And if it needs a tiny bit of water, I can give it a little bit of water. And with this can just get discarded and it can go in my compost pile. I'll end up giving this a little drink of water. The next plant we're going to plant is the Creeping Jenny. Last year, I had temporarily planted this in my vegetable garden, and that worked out great for last year, but it's definitely not optimal. And now that I have a lot more room in my nursery bed, I can plant a bunch of plants like this out in my plant nursery. The thing with Creeping Jenny is I don't need to keep all of this here. This will all come back next year. So I'm going to go ahead and just cut it back. So I want to show you with this creeping Jenny here, you can see that there are roots here, there are roots here, there are roots here, there are roots here. And that's what creeping Jenny does. It just kind of creeps along the way. And that's a great way to be able to divide the plant if you want to, is that's one division there. You know, here's another division. And each of these will create a whole other plant, which is really nice. Well, that was quite the process. One thing I wanted to mention was with the creeping Jenny, I know I planted some of it a little deeper. It should be fine. It's going to go dormant anyway pretty soon, and it's going to be asleep for the winter months, and come springtime, because the roots are nice and secure and in the soil, the plant will take right off and you will see all the new growth reflush at the top here. So what I'm going to do now is tackle the other 3 window boxes. I'm going to follow the same exact process, and I'll show you what everything looks like when I'm all done. Well, that was a project that needed to be completed, and I'm so glad it's done. You can see we have many, and I mean many, pots of the creeping Jenny. And I packed all of these pots really full so that they make more of an impact next year. And we got a total of 19 creeping Jenny pots. And then over in the back here are 5 pots of the Dichondra Silver Falls. And each pot has probably 3 to 5 plants in each pot. So what I plan on doing is taking each of the creeping Jenny, and those are going to get healed in, which means planted into the ground over in my plant nursery. And then the 5 pots of the Dichondra Silver Falls are going to live in my garage during the winter months. You can see that it's windy out and it did get cold, but I'm glad that we did this project together, and I still have many other hanging baskets, window boxes, and pots that need to be taken apart. It's better to do it now than it is as it gets colder. A lot of these plants do need to get settled into their new homes, and I want to give them enough time to do that. Plus, it's really not fun doing this type of job when it's freezing cold out, so I'd much rather be doing it now. So stay tuned for more videos like this, and hopefully it gives you inspiration of things you can do with your container pots come springtime. I hope you're enjoying your gardens, and until the next video, make it a great day with gardening.